So, good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? So, at first, I was going to do a video today, then I wasn't going to do a video today, but here we are. So, this video is not going to be about one specific thing, so to speak, but kind of a conglomerate of things, if you will. First, I want to remind you guys I am actively seeking two assistant clients to fill the void of the two that can no longer afford or need my services, um, because that takes a big unexpected chunk out of my monthly finances. So I would like to be able to rectify that situation as soon as possible. Your business and your consideration is greatly appreciated. Let me explain what I do as your assistant if any of you are in fact really thinking of this. First, I want to say I realize some assistants, I guess I'll get comfy. I realize some assistants do allow payments like where girls pay per client. However, for me, I don't like things that aren't guaranteed, aren't stable. I like a stable situation. My finances and my household need stable situations. So for me, only charging you per client is not something that's feasible for me. Simply because we all know this business is wishy-washy and flaky as hell. The only way I would even begin to consider a situation like that is if it were one of the high class or elite girls who has a really big following where I'm guaranteed X amount of dollars every week or every month. Otherwise, if we go, say you go a week or two without a date, it happens. I know it happens. It happens. Then I am not making any money that 1 or 2 weeks. Don't get me wrong. I have other things. I do web design and I assist a agency of about 6 girls in Cali. However, believe it or not, when you got a daughter graduating college, another daughter who's in college, summer plans that you promised your children for years that you're trying to make good on now, and a child who's also in Job Corps, and then another child who still lives in the home, I need even more income than that. Do I still advertise myself for escorting? Yes, I do. However, the Atlanta market, especially when you've been in a market so long, it gets stale. I've been here 10 years, so for me, it's kind of stale. The only time that I get real contact is when I place ads for other cities. So yes, I will be traveling this year. So I'm not trying to just make money off your blood, sweat, and tears. However, I am providing a service that is important, needed, and necessary. So I just want you all to know that that is why I do not do pay per client situations with people. Um, because for me, I just need a situation where I'm guaranteed X amount of money per month. I like budgeting. I like sitting down at the beginning of every month and figuring out how I'm gonna pay this, that, and the other, and still have funds for groceries, to do things with my children, and live a pretty normal life. So for me, I have to do things a certain way. Um, and so let's get into what I do, and then I'll tell you what I charge. So, I actually, when I assist, I am able to handle text messaging for you if you have something set up like Google Voice or something along those lines. However, I prefer to handle email communication, because as you can imagine, honestly, with everything that's coming into my own phone lines, of which I have 3 or 4, and then already handling text for the agency, at this time for me, handling your email, handling any submissions that come in through your booking form, and then screening those people. And when I screen thoroughly. It's no just provider reference screening, unless that's what you want me to do. I'm fine with doing it that way, but in that capacity, I will have you sign a contract disclaimer that if you're ever harmed or something happens to you, that I am not to be held responsible, because I genuinely feel like when we meet people, even if we're just meeting people in our vanilla lives to date them, we need to do more thorough checking than that. I like to have a person's real name, real cell phone information, no VoIPs and apps allowed. I like to use a screening system online, like a background checker that I use to figure out their name, where they live, uh, even so far back as where they went to college and where they work and all their social media. I like to really dig for people. Um, and that is so that if anything happens to you, I know who the last person was that was with you, and I know where to send somebody. I know a lot of girls are scared to get the police involved when something happens to them. And I, as a black woman in America, hate the police. Trust me, I don't like them. I know they're not our friends. But I want you all to always be aware, if a gentleman does something to you, you have committed a misdemeanor. He has committed a felony. In most states, for you, the charge you would get would just be the conviction, $1,500 fine, a year probation, and maybe 40 hours of community service. It's not a steep penalty. So I advise all of y'all, when you find yourself in a situation like that, don't be scared to go to the police. Really, don't be scared to go. Don't be scared to go. You may get a misdemeanor case, but he's going to get a felony. And not only that, you're helping protect other women, even vanilla women, who he may someday go on to harm. So never be scared to go talk to them, if you need to. Otherwise, let's stay the hell away from them, which is why screening is so important. Um, some people screen out perfectly well in the beginning. Some people have really good even provider references, because you see, people can have a person can be a good guy for as long as and then one day decide he's gonna become a violent sexual predator. I know people think things like that don't happen overnight, but see, it's below the surface sometimes, like a simmer. It's some deep, dark fantasy he's been having since he was a teenager. It's that his wife just broke up with him and he's now like not able to take it out on her, so now he's going to take it out on all other women. There are all kinds of situations as to how predators begin becoming predators. So I never want to say to you as a screener, I can guarantee your safety. I only want to say to you, I'm going to do everything within my power to make sure that I keep you safe, and to make sure that if something does happen to you, we know who to go deal with. That's what I'm going to tell you. And that in screening, to the best of my ability, I will try to verify people's employment to make sure you're not meeting a police officer. That's another reason why employment verification is so important. When I call and verify people's employment verification, I'm always very discreet. I use my vanilla business's web design email address for that, because it cannot be traced back to sex work. And if I have to call their phone or their office phone, what I do is I always make pretend either I'm a loan officer or an insurance broker or someone selling vacations. I never, ever, ever put any of these gentlemen's jobs or personal lives in danger. So I just want y'all to know I just want you all to be aware and to know that I take screening and the safety of any girl I work for very seriously. For those of you who are just learning about me, I've been a companion myself 18 years now. I did retire twice over those years, so I guess we'll say a solid 15, 16 years actually actively working myself as a companion. But I know my shit. So, now, what I will tell you also that I could do as assistant, as long as you are organized and you have some weekly routine and weekly schedule, or if you're new, I create your weekly routine and schedule. It's placing your ads. I do not pay for your ads, but I will place them for you so long as you have the payment method ready for me to use. I will be responsible for letting you know when they need to be renewed, and so on and so on, and I will handle renewals. I can also help you with ad copy and critiquing of your ads to make sure that you can get up on certain sites like Eros and Slixa, where the policies are a little stricter. So basic, and I can help you with other things as well. Those are different services, but right now we're talking about what I do as an assistant. Once I screen your guys and they're ready to go, I then put them on your calendar. You would have to give me a login to your calendar. If you don't already have one, we'd have to create one. I use TimeTree or Google Calendar usually for this. And what we do this way is you know when all your dates are, what cities they're in, and when you should be there. I also, as your assistant, use Safe Office and other techniques to tell you which hotels are safe for you to stay at, which places are sex work friendly, which ones have a high incidence of police stings. So there's a lot of things that I do as an assistant. And because of this, I feel like my fees are beyond fair. There are assistants who charge $300 to $500 a week. I charge $200 a week. And I hear so many girls say, well, that's high, or I can't afford it. I was hoping that you were, pay per client. Like I said, for me, that's not feasible, because if you don't get a client, I'm without. And I just can't do things that way. So my fees are standard, and you may pay $200 each by each Monday, or you may pay the whole $800 for the month by the 4th of each month. If you are a lady who I built a website for, I will consider assisting for you for $650 a month, giving you a discount off of the $800. So I just want to be clear on that. But here's what I'm not looking for. I'm not looking for people who want an assistant for a month. I'm not looking for people who want an assistant for a couple of months. I'm looking for people who are serious about their business, are looking for a good and reliable, ethical assistant who is going to work for the long haul. The only times if I'm not going to be available on certain days, I'll let you know that. And I'll try to get you as many pre-books as possible so that they're already on the calendar and you have a smooth sale while I'm away. Or because I am low volume, even while I'm away, even if I'm touring myself, I will still do your work, and I'll let you know when I'm stepping away for an appointment of my own. I'm very professional, and I understand the importance of professionalism in this industry. I'm looking for a girl who is looking for an assistant that she's going to build a camaraderie and true business relationship with, who is serious about what she does, who is not flaky, and who is really organized herself. Part of my job is to get you organized, but it's hard to get someone organized who just whole life is hectic and chaos. And I've found that I don't work well with those types of ladies. Unless they're willing to say, here's all my logins, just take it, Storm, and do what you need to do and let me know when my appointments are. If you're unorganized and you allow me to take over and get you organized, I can still work with you. I just can't work with disorganized, chaotic, hectic people who still want to have their hands in it and mess up the flow of things between me and them and their clients. that's an impossible situation. And so that is not a good fit for me. I'm organized and I'm calculated. I'm very calculated. Everything I do is calculated. So, with that being said, if you need an assistant and you want a real assistant who works seriously through the day, from I work 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time till about 9 p.m. I will push to 10 p.m. Standard Eastern Time if you need me to, Monday through Friday. I do also work on weekends if we make an agreement for that. The agency I work for, which is my main client right now, they don't work on weekends. So I've had the luxury of being off most weekends. And most of the touring ladies that I worked for also weren't weekenders, because they would use the weekend to go home to spend with their children and loved ones, or to catch up on schoolwork and other things that they lost during the week while they were out touring. But if you need weekends, I'm okay with it. But on weekends, I have a hard cutoff time of 10 p.m. period on weekends, no matter what time zone you're in. So I just want to be clear about that, because I do have a life. But let's get into other things. So, don't forget, I also do web design. You can go to takenbystorm.biz for that. Takenbystorm.biz is being relaunched probably in a week or two. It's almost complete, and it'll be takenbystorm.co. I will probably still leave takenbystorm.biz up for about 6 months, though, until the SEO on the new site really takes hold. Taken by Storm Photography is also almost complete. So I have a lot of things going on. I like to stay busy, and I'm hoping that they financially pay off as they need to. I had a phenomenal year last year with Taken by Storm.biz, web design, and with assistant. A lot of girls seem to have retired, or things have slowed down for them. So it means things have slowed down for me too. There is a hair strand in my face driving me crazy. So things have slowed down for them too, which is unfortunate because it trickles down to me. And that is why I am actively seeking assistant clients too, that are serious, that we can get locked in with each other, and I can get my income back to what I need it to be. I'm also seeking web design clients always. We need jobs, because I have a partner. So when I don't eat, so to speak, they don't eat either. So we both need work. And anyone who I've done a website for, who understood how websites really work and how web design works, will tell you that I'm great at what I do, and I'm easy to work with, but I'm honest, and I don't candy coat things. And sometimes people find that I speak to them harshly. And my phone fell. And if I've ever made any of you feel that way, I'm sorry, but this is a serious business. This is a business where all aspects of it need to be taken seriously. And I don't think a lot of ladies get that. And I just need you to trust that when you hire me, I know what I'm doing. But now let's get on to some light stuff. I don't call it gossiping. I'm not Wendy Williams, but I do want to get into some things that I have seen on Twitter, because to me they're just so ridiculous. First, I want to touch base on, if you haven't checked it out yet, go to my blog, stormspeaks.de. There is an article there that I wrote to contradict and to educate anti-trafficking rescue organizations like Polaris Project. And there's also a link within that where I was interviewed for an article on non-trafficked sex workers during the Super Bowl. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. My blog has lots and lots of topics and entries of all kinds of things, and is a good way to get to know who I am. Whether you're a male client, or a girl or transgender or non-binary seeking any of my services, it's a good way for you to get a feel of who I am and things that I believe in and things that I'm passionate about. But there is craziness going on Twitter all the time lately. Either we're arguing because We don't agree with what girls charge for their rates. We're arguing because we don't like that an event that we wanted to go to isn't within our price range. We're arguing because, I could go on. There's just so many things that we're arguing about. And to me, it's all ridiculous. Look, in my spare time, I'm going to tell you what I do. Because I think some of y'all need to find things to do in your spare time. Cooking is a great way to relieve stress. Having some wine is a great way to relieve stress. Shopping, if you can afford to, is a great way to relieve stress. Uh, Planning things that you need to be doing, like planning your tour or planning next week's advertisements and photos, even if you don't tour. Planning your next business move, whether it be starting a blog, writing a book, starting your own clothing line, your own lingerie line, getting involved in being an advocate. Like, there's so many things y'all can do other than nitpicking and nagging and bullying each other online all day. And I hate to use the word bullying because I know some people might not agree with me with this, but I believe like bullying applies to children and harassment applies when you're talking about adults. I don't believe adults can be bullied. I believe adults can be harassed. And that's just the way I feel about it. It may not be everybody's opinion, but it's mine. Regardless of what label we want to put on it, though, Twitter is full of it amongst the sex work community, and it's really, really sad because we don't have too many other places left where we can still communicate and share camaraderie with each other. Like, we used to have the Verify Him community room. That was great. We have a powder room on Eki or Essie or however you want to pronounce it. But I find that one to be just so. I like it. I mentioned my services there. I try to talk to girls there about screening once in a while, but I'm just saying in general, Twitter and the Verify Him community room we used to have were probably two of the best areas for us to really be able to communicate and talk to each other and share what we're going through. And now instead of doing it, and don't get me wrong, I know y'all remember that Verify Him community room. It could be a shit show too. I got into a couple of knockout drag downs on there myself. Let's be honest, we women have fangs and claws and we have no issue coming against each other. But honestly, in the atmosphere we're in now, where the whole world is trying to be against us and destroy us and trying to even brainwash us and convince us that every time we see someone is raped by pay and things of this nature, don't we need each other to be positive and to be a way of uplifting and keeping each other mentally strong? Like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand how we had all this time to hate. Look, sis, if you didn't want to go to the yacht party and you couldn't afford to go to the yacht party, be an adult about it. Sit down, be quiet, and figure out what you can do next year to be able to afford to go. Instead of trying to badmouth and make it look like it's their fault or that they're wrong for charging what they're charging. $250 is not an unreasonable amount to gain entrance to a yacht party. $250 would be an unreasonable amount, in my opinion, for me to charge to go to a standard party somewhere, like just in a room, you know what I'm saying? Or your common convention hall, I guess. But I don't feel like $250 is too much to charge to go to a yacht party. Like, I don't feel like there's too much to charge. Because if you're even considering going to a yacht party, the truth of the matter is you're probably someone who makes that, at least that amount in one appointment. Honestly, truth be told. Because otherwise, you shouldn't even be considering going. It shouldn't even be something that you paid attention to. Because if you're not able to make that, then you need to keep your money for other more important things. So you shouldn't be arguing about something that wasn't something you needed to be doing to begin with. That's not a good fit for you. Like, I may want to, for instance, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. I don't know. But if there's anything, I may want to buy a Porsche. But realistically, that's not my range right now because I need to be taking care of my kids in my house. So realistically, but am I going to get online and then write bad reviews about Porsche and pull them down as a company because I don't like how much they're charging for their cars? No, it's ridiculous. You can't afford to go. You can't afford to go. That's not anyone's fault. I'm not even going to say that's your fault because let's be serious. Things are fucked right now for lots of people. So I'm not going to say, it's your fault. I'm just going to say that it shouldn't even have been something that you were even considering. So therefore, you shouldn't be mad about it. You shouldn't be mad about it. I personally wanted to go to the TSEG podcast party, but because my birthday is April 14th, and because I'm always a family first person, I have decided when they announced today that I couldn't, because if I go to Florida, I want to stay a couple of days. I'm not trying to go and come right back the next day, which is what I would have had to have done to be here with my significant other for my birthday, and my kids for my birthday. So I made that decision. And actually, my significant other was like, you've been talking about wanting to go to this yacht party since it was announced. Why don't you go? And I looked at him and said, because I would rather be with you on my birthday, because that's the kind of person I am. But like, I didn't throw a fit and tell them they needed to change the date just because I couldn't come because of when my birthday fell. Nah. I'll make sure, hopefully, that I can catch the next one. Hopefully, the next event is not scheduled around anything that comes into family time for me. But that's like, you just cut your losses and you be quiet. That's what adults do. And sit down somewhere and figure out how to make your business better. Now, one of the biggest haters involved in all of this, however, prides herself on being a streetwalker. Let me say this. I don't have anything against streetwalkers. Do what you want to do. It's your body. I think all women should be able to do whatever they want to do with their body anytime. And men, and non-binary, and trans. I'm sorry that I keep saying women, but it's just that when I first got into this, and I've been doing this a long time, most of us were women. So I don't mean any offense at all by that comment. But I have never streetwalked. I've had it happen by accident before, where I've been minding my business, walking down the street, somebody hollered at me, and then we made arrangements. Yes. But I've never been around the clock, like purposely went outside with the idea of street walking. That has never happened. And I don't have no problem with you all doing that if that's your thing and that's your comfort zone. It's too dangerous of a thing for me to ever want to participate in, because I still don't know, how do you screen somebody? Like, do you stand outside of their car with your phone and run their info? I can't just get in a car with someone I know nothing about. That's not my thing. And when I started online. I started in 2001 on Yahoo Personals and Eros. And then about 2-3 years in, also found Craigslist erotic. But most of my business came from Eros, and I was professional from the very beginning. I even had a website probably by my 6 months in. So yeah, I don't have anything against streetwalkers. I have an issue, however, with how much animosity they have towards us. And I see that all the time on Twitter and Tumblr. And the veracity of the hatred makes no sense to me. They make comments about $300, $200, $300 an hour girls and their high price lingerie, and that we're lazy, and that we don't know real hoeing, and that we don't work as hard as they do. Let me tell you something, honey. I'm sure what you do is hard. It's definitely dangerous, even if it isn't hard. But I will let you know this. What we do is hard too. You see, because we actually then have to worry about financing all of our marketing. Some of us pay people like me to make websites. Some of us make our own websites. There's photographers that we pay. There's the screening and the email answering and the phone call answering. So if you do not think just because I don't beat my feet 10 toes down on a pavement that my job is somehow easier than yours, the only thing that makes my job easier than yours, 9 times out of 10, even though there are some internet girls that also have pimps, there's plenty of them. But in my situation, I'm speaking for me and most of us who y'all keep attacking online, like the girls of TSEG podcast and other girls, most of us are independent, which means we have to think for ourselves, do for ourselves, organize for ourselves, run our business ourselves, and make our money by ourselves, keep my money for myself. So in that regard, yes, that's where we have the plus because we're keeping it. I believe you, the one on Twitter causing all the havoc, you might be indie and street walking or freelancing or whatever, but this hate you got for other girls who run their business differently than you do is insane. And you might think that you're profiting, but I'm gonna tell you, like, for one, um, you're doing things in a cowardice way. If you gonna harass people and talk shit, put your picture up and show them who they talking to. Because anybody who I've ever had have said anything to, got something to say to, I email them directly, text them directly, send them a pic of me. I don't hide because that's grown woman shit. This thing with using a name on Twitter that's probably not even the name you go by on the street, and then not really having an image so the people you're messing with can even know who they're talking to, is childish, immature, and petty. Like, that's like, no one takes that seriously. I think you should figure out, and if you are making a lot of money on street walking, good for you. I'm happy for you. I'm not mad at you for that. I'm just mad at you for continuing to attack people within the industry who literally haven't done anything to you. Your beef is with a podcast, and your comments on Twitter and Tumblr all the time are insulting and saying that internet girls are lazy and being happy that FOSTA and SESTA passed because now we'll have to do some real work. Like, I don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's ridiculous to me. Um but I'm glad and I'm happy for you that you're happy doing that shit the way you do it. Just leave those of us alone who chose to do it this way. Like, I'm personally, I'm not gonna get out here and go nowhere. It's exhausting enough for me to be glued to a computer and a cell phone all day, and I'm definitely not gonna go and walk for God knows how many hours a day. I'm just, nope, you're right. In that regard, I'm lazy as shit. But it really don't have nothing to, it has to do with, yep, laziness on that end of things. And also just it's unpredictable. Even being online is unpredictable. And I'm not saying it's not, but that's seriously unpredictable stuff that so much can go on in that I want no parts of. And I think a lot of us want no parts of. And I just don't know why you're angry at us for opting for the safer, more strategic method. I don't get it. Make your money, sis, however you want to make it. But I want you, if you're going to continue to do what you're doing, to woman up or man up. I don't know who you really are. That's the thing. None of us do. Just woman up, man up, do whatever you need to do to let us know who it is that keeps being so ugly and hateful. It's okay for us to have differences of opinions and different beliefs and different methods. It is not okay to spend all day spewing hate and harassing other people. That's not okay. That's not cool nowhere. And that shows a real lack of maturity on your part. It does. It really does. So I would encourage you, whoever you are, to go do what you do. And let us go do what we do. It's very simple. It's very simple. You never know. You might actually like some of us if you got to know some of us. I'm just saying, don't like, you know what I mean? I've even taken streetwalker girls into my room before in Baltimore and gave them a place to work from. I've taken a couple into my house before and given them a place to work from just till they felt safe to go back outside. So I'm not somebody who hates anyone. I just hate street walking because it's very, very unsafe, and I actually give a damn about y'all's safety. But and I have said before, I will admit, I've said comments before online about how it was kind of negative for the internet industry when a bunch of girls got online charging 40, 50, and $60 rates. And yes, I, along with others, because I'm a woman who owns her shit, called them streetwalker rates. That's not knocking your hustle, though. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you being a streetwalker. Didn't say that. I just said those are streetwalker rates because in most cases, those are, in the areas I've lived, streetwalker rates. Now, here's the thing. You know all the stuff I just named that internet girls have to pay for out of their own pocket in most cases? And in calls and all this other stuff. So, of course, they got to charge more because they have more overhead. Whereas a streetwalker really doesn't have any overhead. So, I guess, looking at it from a business standpoint, you can have a cheap rate if you don't have to pay for a hotel room, if you're not paying for pictures, if you're not paying for websites, and you're not paying for online ads. You can afford then, if you so choose, to take $40, $50, and $60. Those of us with all these other business expenses cannot afford to take that because it doesn't even put a dent in what we're paying. So, not knocking your hustle, just not wanting our clients who are on the internet sites to think that 40, 50, and 60 should be the norm for us. That's all any of us have ever said. I personally have nothing against y'all. I'll sit down and eat lunch and talk to one of y'all just like I will anybody else. I don't think I'm any better than y'all. I'd be lying though if I didn't say that we weren't smarter. Y'all work harder. We work smart and hard. And that's the truth. And I'm not going to take back my truth. The truth is, y'all work hard and y'all might make more money per day. Get your coins. Not mad at you. But for me, my safety, being sure I'm here to raise my children and being sure I'm not getting arrested every damn week matters to me more than stacks and stacks of money. I like money, but I like me better. I like my family better. I like my household better. And I don't need the disruption with a whole bunch of legal bullshit or worse, getting raped, thrown in a ditch, and ending up dead. And yes, those things can still happen the internet way too. It sure does. But at least I have a process and a way of making the chances slimmer. Nothing's a guarantee. I can end up just as fucked up as you can. I would never say I couldn't. I'm just saying, in general, the internet hustle is the smarter way of doing things. The street hustle is the faster way of doing things. Touche. Let's agree to disagree. But I just had to speak on that because I'm just tired of it. I was amazed about 2 or 3 years ago when I got on Tumblr and couldn't believe the amount of street girls who were dragging and speaking so negatively and making fun of those of us who use the internet to work. How much celebration and laughter there was at us by those girls when Backpage went, oh, now they have to get on the street with us. Like, that, come on. Like, that's so hateful and immature. But yeah, I just hope we all learn to get along better in this industry. I personally got about 9 months left as an actual worker myself. And then I'll be hanging up my heels, but they won't be completely hung up because I'm always going to be doing photography, assistant, and web design and mentoring for the rest of you. I'm never going to stop doing that. I'll probably be 80 and still be helping y'all, to be honest. I'm never going to stop that. Taken by Storm is my business. It's going to continue to be my business. I started it especially really for the purpose of my retirement. So, I just want you all to know that you all do have someone in your corner who genuinely cares, who wants to help keep you safe, who wants to give you the best web design possible. And I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that and that you take advantage of that, because there are a lot of assistants who used to barely just started asking me to teach them how to screen a year or so ago, who are now having y'all pay them to screen when they don't really have the experience themselves to do your screening. I don't name names or nothing like that, but I'm just being honest. There's a lot of that going on where people who didn't know how to do things themselves even a year or so ago, 2 years ago, are now advertising as if they have a world of experience and trying to profit off screening for others. I think personally that you need more experience in that, and you need to know the ropes better than that before you begin doing that. I would never have offered to screen for someone a year or two of being a companion myself, because I just still wouldn't have felt like that was best, personally. And I'm not throwing hate at anybody. We all got to hustle and get our money however we can. I'm just merely stating that those of us that you've observed doing this for a long time are usually the better option. That's all I'm saying. Everything that's shiny and glistens and looks like gold isn't always good. So that's all I'm saying. Again, I'm not throwing shade on nobody at all. I wish everybody productivity. I wish everybody prosperity. I wish everybody get their coins and get them safely. I'm just saying that I have a wealth of experience, and not just experience in being a booking assistant, but being in the industry totally. I've seen done so much, and I'm an excellent choice as someone who can really, really keep you safe and really, 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 really teach you the bones of the business, so to speak. So contact me. My email is bookingassistantstorm@gmail.com. Again, bookingassistantstorm@gmail.com. And please check out the following page for my mentorship and videos just like this one. stormvision.online/taken by storm. So it's STORMBY. I'm sorry, hold on. My battery is getting ready to die on my computer, and we don't want that to happen while I am filming, because then I will not have my video saved. So, actually, and I was saying that wrong because I was so busy paying attention to the battery. www.stormv as in Victor, IS as in Sam, ION as in Nancy .online /TAKEN as in Nancy, B as in boy, Y as in you, S as in Sam, T as in Thomas, OR as in Robert, M as in Mary. stormvision.online/taken-by-storm for all my helpful videos. See you guys soon. Oh, happy Valentine's Day. Have a great one. Bye-bye.